Hello, class. We're going to get you going with MariaDB. I hope you are installing Maria. Okay, we want you to install Maria. There's some links here that you should look at to install MariaDB. You might already have MySQL. Well, I don't want to interfere with that installation, so let's work with MariaDB. They work side by side without interfering with each other. Not to worry. Okay, so get that installed. Now, the next thing I want to show you is that if you install MariaDB, you can bring up services. Just want to show you how I did that. Just click on the Windows icon and type in serv. There's various ways you can do this, but I wanted to get up the services feature here. And these are all the services that are running on my computer at the moment. And if we scroll down, they're in alphabetical order. You'll see one of them is MariaDB. It's running. That's the way it was set up when we installed it. If you follow the installation procedures, MariaDB will start running when you restart your computer. Now, if you don't want that, you can click on this and you can stop it. And right now it's set up to be automatic. If you don't want that, you can change that too. But I think until we finish with Maria, you should maybe leave it at automatic. Now I want to start it again because we're going to use it in just a moment here. Okay, so that's how you can work with MariaDB. All right, enough about that window. We can get that back if we want anytime. Next thing I want to go is we need to get these scripts. We need to get these 3 files here. These 3 files are scripts that we can use to recreate some databases. They were created by exporting from a database. You can export a database to a file, send it to somebody, and then they could recreate the database on their system by using the import of these files here. So what we need to do is you want to download these 3. I've got them already downloaded here. I'm just going to drag them out onto my desktop here, because what we're going to do with those is we're going to move these into our Maria installation. So now that I've got them out here, what I want to do is I want to use File Explorer to locate my Maria installation. And it's in my program files folder. Here it is. And I want to specifically go to the bin folder right here. This is where these files have to go. So I'm going to drag all 3 of these into my bin folder. Okay. I think we can do that. Okay, done. They should now be in there. I'll just do a quick check on that to see if some of those are in there. Yeah, there's the script.sql file. Okay, done. Now, the reason for doing that is that's where they have to be so that we can import them. They have to be in that bin folder. Now, while we're here, let's click right up here and let's copy this path because we're going to use this path. If you click up there, you can the path will show up and you can copy that, and we're going to use that in a moment to move. We're going to move to that path and enter some commands. So let's do that. Let's open up a command window. CMD down here, right? Open up the command prompt. And let's cd \, that takes you back to the root of drive C. Then try cd and Control V is paste, and we can get to that bin folder where we have Maria installed. Now we need to enter some commands that are actually in the chapter 34 of our textbook. We have to create, just get us there in a second. Yeah, here's where it kicks in the PDF file for chapter 34. Here's what we want to do. We can log in to MySQL at the command prompt by entering this right here. Now, it's actually Maria, but we can refer to Maria as MySQL because it is a clone of MySQL. So, back in that command prompt, let's type that in. Just move that out of the way a little bit. So what we want is MySQL -u root -p. You'll be then prompted for your password. I hope you chose Sesame as the password, as was requested. And that'll get you to the Maria prompt. This would be the MySQL prompt if we were using MySQL. And you'll notice that we have a prompt string here. We can now enter database commands. Just for the heck of it, I'll run one here. We can try the show databases command, and it'll show us the databases that we currently have. And we get these by default. When you install Maria, you get 4 databases. Do not mess with the top 3. They are used by Maria to manage itself. Okay, do not mess with these. This one here is a database that you can play around with, but do not play around with these. But what we're interested in doing is, what we want to do is we want to follow some of the instructions that are right here in our textbook. We've just logged in. Now what we want to do is we want to use MySQL. So let's try entering that command then. Use MySQL, and you should finish that with a semicolon. Okay, nothing happens. We got a little message, database changed. Now we want to create user Scott. So we want this command right here. I might even be able to copy it from here. I'm going to try. Control C, and then I'll paste it here. Oh, it didn't copy property, so I guess I'll type it in. Probably should do that anyway, just to be sure. So we're going to create a user. We're going to create a user named Scott. This has got to be inside, single quotes are okay. Scott at localhost. Notice the quotes. Got to get the quotes just right. Identified by Tiger. Got to make sure I get this right, of course, or it's not going to work out. Tiger is his password. So what we're doing here is we're you have to finish that with a semicolon. So we're creating a user named Scott that's going to be able to work at localhost. That's where we're going to be working with Maria, and his password is going to be Tiger. Okay, this query okay. That's good news. And then as you can see, it brags about how fast it is here. So we just created a user. Now what we want to do is we want to give him certain privileges. So what we want is this line right here. Once again, I'm going to see if I can copy all of that. I don't know why I couldn't copy it. And then I want to paste it in here. Doggone it. Maybe we could do that another way. No. Okay, I'm going to have to type it in. What we're doing is granting certain privileges in the database to Scott here. He's going to be able to select. He's going to be able to insert. He's going to be able to update. He's going to be able to delete. He's going to be able to create new tables. And he's going to be able to create views. We don't actually do that. And he's even going to be able to drop tables. That means delete tables. He's going to be able to execute and references on star dot star, that means on anything. Get the star there. Star dot star to, and here's where we're giving the privileges to Scott at localhost. And that's got to be inside quotes. If you get it wrong, you can redo it. You can repeat it. You can actually edit it too by pressing arrow up. And you have to finish it with a semicolon. Well, hopefully I got that right. Let's see what happens here. Yep, apparently I got that right. Good. Since I got the response, I got the OK response. So okay, so good. So we've created a user called Scott with certain privileges. Now, next thing we want to do is down a little bit. We want to import those scripts, and in order to do that, we have to log in as Scott. So what we'll do right here is we'll exit. If you type in exit, that'll log you out. You notice we're back to the DOS prompt here. So now I want to log in again, but I want to log in as indicated here as Scott. So that's MySQL -u root. I always put a space after the U, but in this case we're going to log in as Scott -p, and that should give us a prompt to enter the password, which is Tiger. All right, we're logged in as Scott now. Okay, so we're now logged in as user Scott. We've got our MariaDB prompt here. Now, we want to create a database called JavaBook. This is the one that Liang uses for all of his examples, so that's why we need this. So we'll go with it, create database JavaBook. Make sure you get everything just exactly right. Press enter. Okay, looks like it worked. Okay, we got an okay response. Now what we want to do with that, we want to use that. The use command just allows you to make it the active database. So we're going to use that database that we just made. Semicolon at the end. Okay. And now here's the command here that should import the entire database, because we put script.sql, that was the name of the file that we put in the bin folder. So let's give that a try. Source script.sql semicolon. There it goes. Okay, we've got a little bit of a problem here, but it appears that it did everything. This created a bunch of tables and data in those tables, and I think we can verify that if we try that show databases. That's the command that should show you all the databases. I don't know why it did like that. This will sometimes happen, which is very annoying. Usually you'll get this arrow when you haven't finished the line properly, but I have finished the line properly. Darn it. I'm going to exit here, which I believe I can do with a Control-Z. Nope. Well, it's hanging up on me. I don't know why that would have happened, because usually you only get that. This is an indicator that you haven't finished the command properly, but we have. So I don't know why that's happened. Must have something to do with the error messages here. Darn it. I don't know how to get out of that, unfortunately. We'll have to look that up, but there is a way of escaping out of this, and darn if I remember what it is. Thought it was a control sequence, but it doesn't appear to be. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this window, and I'm going to try to log in again. And I will log in as Scott if I can. Okay, I'm not in the right folder, right? Not in the right folder. So I've got to get myself to the right folder. Forgot about that step. Got to get to this folder first before we can do that. So we'll log in as Scott. Enter our password. And hopefully we're okay. So I want to try that show databases again. And you can see that we do have the Java book database now. Okay. And we can now mess around with that. But I want to get the other script files that we also downloaded and put into this folder. So let's log out and let's log into these just as the root user. So I'm going to exit and we'll start up MySQL again. By the way, your commands are remembered. You can scroll back through commands. And this time I want to just log in as root. I was pressing arrow up there, by the way. Arrow up, cursor arrow up will repeat your most recent commands. So we're going to log in now as the root user with the password sesame. And now let's try, I think we can do it with just source and the name of those script files. So one of them was PC parts, I believe. PCparts.sql. Yeah, we got it. We just totally installed that database. Now let's do the other one, which is called example.sql. Okay, we got that one too. It's a smaller one, as you can see. And once again, I'm going to try show databases. Now, I don't want to type it in. I should be able to get there by pressing arrow up a few times. There it is. And you can see that we now have Java book, PC parts, and we also have example up here. So we've got a number of different databases. Now, when you want to mess with one of those databases, you have to use it. So I'm going to try use example. Make sure you put a semicolon after it. Okay, we're now using the example database, as you can see by the prompt change down here. Lets you know which database is active. And what we could do is, let's try show tables. Let's see what tables are in that particular database. Well, we've got just one table in there, the product table. Let's take a look at what's in that. We can use select star from product. This is that select command that we granted privileges on for Scott, but as the root user, we have all our privileges. So select star from product, that should show me all of the records in that table. And there they are. As you can see, they're about automobiles. And we've got VIN, make, model, year, color, and price for some vehicles. And each row is a record in the product table. Well, we've got much more to learn about that, but we will do that on Thursday. I just wanted to get you started. Hopefully this video will help you do that. See you in cyberspace on Thursday.